Welcome back, one and all. It's stream time, and it's the Irish Poker Masters KO main event final table. Henry, my man. Well, let me just start off by saying good morning, I guess, because I'm guessing it's rather early where you are, but welcome back to the box.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Yeah, well, great way to return and kind of, well, we're getting to the end of the year. We're wrapping up 2021.
We are, and we've had best part of a month off, I guess. Now we're coming back for this event. Obviously, we'll talk a little bit later. Millions online coming up, but one of the last big chances to get a nice payout here on Party here, the Irish Poker Masters KO, and Henry, this is a good one. €1,000 buy, €1 million guaranteed. It fell 6 players shy of the guarantee, so the tiniest amount of overlay in there.
That's rare.
Yeah.
It's forgiven, given what's going on the other side of the pond, or what I should say,
right,
is wrapping up over there.
Yeah, it's true. Certainly a few players would have jetted out over there at the last minute. See here, first place pays 65,700 plus, of course, bounties. This is a KO event, and as always, you don't know what the first prize is going to be till you win. Everyone guarantees 6.8 plus, of course, the bounties are already accumulated. We're playing a 30-minute structure. We're playing a 20-minute structure up until level 19, which is the 250, 500 level. Then it will transition to 30 minutes per level. So plenty of play. And Henry, what that does tell me is that the players have reached the final table a little bit earlier than predicted, which is why we've still got so many levels to go, which can only tell us that we're pretty deep. And sure enough, 125, 250, the blinds. You can see there, Henry, there are a lot of chips in play on this table. You think, Aleksejs is second shortest with 30 big blinds on a 9-handed final table. That's pretty incredible, isn't it?
Yeah, that's actually insane. Like, middle of the pack is like still 70 bigs deep.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is actually going to be really, really interesting because, obviously there's still heavy ICM considerations, but it's not like Pavlo can just go after anyone willy-nilly.
Right.
They're still deep enough to see flops and play post and whatnot. So probably going to get a very honest game for the first couple of hours, I would say, and then see how the stacks fluctuate from there, and we'll see.
Yeah, and it's fun. Also, he's looking at the lineup and names on there as we look at the payouts. We've got a little bit of mix, or at least it appears a mix in terms of experience. Certainly by tracked earnings that we know of, we've got some. We've got some players in the 7-figure club, but we've also got some players who appear at first look to be much less experienced. So it may be interesting to see how that plays out. It's fun to see some stuff, Henry, isn't it? As always, to see some deviations from the solvers.
Yeah, definitely. This payout structure as well, very top heavy, especially given those stacks that we just mentioned. The difference between first and sixth is like going to be the better part of 100k, and they're pretty much even at the moment.
That's a great point. It is monstrous, and I see already. I know I was looking before we came online that Joel, who's starting sort of middle of the pack, has the largest bounty on his head. So it's going to be just an interesting dynamic for how they have to approach the tournament when 9-handed people will be, I guess, gunning for you a little bit.
Yeah, and is Joel's coming in with how many chips? Was he
15 million? So toward
Oh wow!
I definitely not short. Still over 60 blinds because of how deep everyone is. But
yeah, that's phenomenal. That's actually pretty insane. But yeah, still even with the bounties this deep, I think we're going to get a very honest game to start off with and go from there. Couple of knockouts, see how the stacks are playing within the next 5 or 6 levels.
Yeah, I'm assuming we're gonna come over there shortly, Henry. Here we go. Now, the eagle eye amongst you will notice this looks a little different because, well, Henry, we got some gremlins today. I see a leprechaun down the bottom left there. Really hammering home some stereotypes. Perhaps there's a leprechaun in the system, but unfortunately. It doesn't look like we're going to have whole cards today. This one going a little different, Henry. We're going to have to really earn our keep today.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, Georgios is maybe the most experienced. One of the most experienced at this table, definitely top 3.
Yeah.
Covering.
Yeah. That's plentiful, good results. As it opens up here. And there we go. One of the short stacks. Alexis coming out with the 3-bet. Early doors, Henry.
Yeah, unfortunately for Alexis, Georgios is going to be one of the widest in this position. See a lot of folds here. That's his 3-bet. Even though it is obviously EP and you'd expect to have a narrower range, which you will, but at this stack depth, like he covers everyone bar Pavlo. And obviously half the prize pool being in bounties.
Yeah. Well, we started at 125 to 50, Henry, but it was only for a couple of hands because we're already up to the 150, 300. Makes not too much of a difference that we say everyone so deep.
Yeah, I must say, I really like this table layout compared to what we normally have. Just need the whole cards and then all is good.
Just need them. How are we doing, Twitch chat? How's everyone getting on this evening? Welcome, one and all. Let's get out of the way. Password at the top of the screen. 1 million guaranteed is, of course, for our free roll. That's the Irish Poker Masters KO free roll. $500 in cold hard cash today, Henry. No bells, no whistles, no strings attached. Just money you can spend on beer or coffee or just general punting.
Yeah, I mean, chuck me in.
I mean, I'm obviously registered. I didn't register on the first page though. Some 20 people beat me to it. Quite upset with that, but
that's not like you. You're normally one of the first ones in, like, a month away, and you've
lost my edge.
You were slacking, mate.
not quite into match fitness, as they say.
Yeah. So go on then, quickly. What have you been up to? Just give us a brief recap of the last month or so.
I've been playing a little bit of poker, playing a little bit of golf as per usual.
Day in the life of James Dempsey.
Yeah, and I even did a sneaky last-minute trip down to Spain last week.
Did you actually?
Just 4 days of sunshine, and then it got quite cold, so I left.
Very nice. Whereabouts did you end up going?
I was down in Marbella. Costa del Sol.
You're such a punter, mate.
Get a bit of sunshine. That was typical. Monday, it was like last week. Monday was lovely. Tuesday was a lovely day. Wednesday, it started to get a bit cooler and windy. And then Thursday, I was like, Jesus, it's warmer at home. So that's where I went.
Warmer at home? Really?
Yeah. Well, no, I felt it just because it was so windy and then a bit of weather. Yeah. But yeah, obviously I played a bit of golf down there, Henry. Played some golf, ate some food, the usual.
Ah, lovely stuff, mate. If only you had social media. So us fans could...
I'm like a ninja. It's, sneak under the radar.
Oh, fantastic stuff.
This is good. I was saying this is gonna be hard for us to actually get on normal flow, Henry, because see Ivan popping under the gun, but who knows what way are they?
Yeah. I mean, range is going to be relatively tight, even though off of 70 we're going to be opening wider than we would be off, 30 or whatnot.
Right.
But yeah, still going to be like top 10% of range, I'd say. Be throwing some like ace nines.
Here, Tamás opening, Henry, but opening with Pavlo on the button. It's always going to be a little. Not just Pavlo on the button, but Ivan obviously in the big blind as well, and of course Zisimo in the cutoff as well with 24 million. In fact, it's not the best seat to be in, is it? If you're Tamás, I guess this is probably the worst spot you can open. All three of the guys who cover you still in the pot.
Yeah, it's pretty unreal. I'd love to see a lead here. Although we shouldn't really have too much ace king, because I think with ace king we should be continuing on queen 10 deuce rainbow. So even though we do have a nut advantage, meaning that Pavlo should never have ace king and we have all the ace king, when we check flop, kind of cap ourselves here.
It's just see Pavlo going. I mean, on the flip of that, I guess doesn't really get to have queens. Probably, I mean, doesn't really get to have jacks. I guess so probably wouldn't bet the flop with them. I guess there's some 2-pair combos there, right? And maybe a hand like tens or something. I don't know.
All the 2-pair combos definitely has tens.
Yeah,
very low frequency. But yeah, I'm curious to just like ease into this and see. See who's maybe pipping a tad wide. Because I mean, Tamás should be pretty tight,
right?
Given the players behind.
Yeah, it's wild. I know guys I say it every stream. Probably sound a bit like a broken record, but it's such a big part of final tables is that table draw. Like where you slot in here. Tamás not ideal. Ivan probably with the best seat of those bigger stacks. But, it all changes. Players start spinning up. Stacks move around. Maxim the shortest here. I suppose I said that blind increase is pretty minimal, but it's not minimal for Maxim. Knocks him down to just 13 blinds here. And what's he got? 1300 bounty in him. Okay, Glib flattening the button. With Aleksejs opening what, just over 20, Henry?
Yeah, this is effectively. Yeah, so like 12 effective, 13 effective with Maxim in the big. Which means that Alex's range should be even tighter. Interested to see him check on this board.
Well, I guess Joel calling from the small as well, so taking it three-way. Maybe
yeah, Joel's range is going to be like 7s through 10s, and then some ace 10, ace jack, king queen type hands. It's like suited broadways.
Right. So betting here, Henry was saying you can have your king jack of hearts, king 10 of hearts potentially, but also balancing that with some ace jack, ace 10 that might bet the turn here. And I guess 9s.
Yeah, 9s are going to be in there as well. Looks like Glib's got a spot. Seriously tanking this one down here.
Glib not with a dissimilar range, right? I know it's a slightly wider range on the button, but he gets to have those hands as well, right? The gut shot, Broadway flush draws here. And...
Yeah, so what's this? This is cut versus small blind. I'm actually just running it.
Glib now folds. 5 million there. Alexis with pot behind. Joel bets. Okay, and we'll chop it up. Some suited ace action, Henry.
Oof. I don't know how I feel about that.
Small block.
Open 2. Fold button flattered. Small blind. Ah, wow. That's pretty insane. Yeah, meant to be flattening.
What does computer say, Henry?
Flattening a bunch of 15 effective. I guess considering that we also cover both players, Alexis and Glib, and then we have the short stack in the big blind. Makes tough sense. Yeah, it calls. It actually mixes ace 4, mixing between flatting and jamming. That's at 15 effective.
Okay, yeah. Vaccine pusher in the chat asking what was the buy-in to the event. It was 1,100 euros. Monkey to the prize pool, monkey to the bounties. Roll the dice, try and get yourself here. And well, Henry, we can be pretty safe to assume it's going to be a 6-figure payout with 65k for first from the prize pool. You're expecting in a bounty to be able to top that up and get over 6 figures. Top pair, skirmish.
Yeah, I'd be very surprised looking at these bounties.
Zisimo. Popping it up from the first seat. Pavlo behind the chip leader does indeed get involved. Again, Henry, slightly wider ranges because we're this deep, would you say, from Zisimo, or is this quite a strong range?
I mean, Georgios just opened Queen 10-0 from +1, right?
Yeah. Willing to get involved. And, well, Ivan calls Maxim now in the tank for 12 on the button. I mean, a lot of hands are going to look tempting here. Does rip it in. I mean, no fold equity against, first of all, these three ranges in theory. Someone's always going to call, but also, of course, with the bounty on the line. And, wow, Zisimo clicks it, Henry. Goes for the ISO. I guess we're doing that. Is he doing that with range, Henry? If you're going to play... I mean, I don't know. Are there some just jams?
This is like...
I mean...
I don't know. I honestly don't know. Like, are we clicking it to then fold?
Wow.
This is...
Whoa.
Yeah, we're in uncharted territory here.
Wow. Queen 6 tray flop. Maxim the one at risk.
Yeah, I mean...
This is
just check as well. Like, this is like ace king or queens, right?
What, for Zisimo?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean...
Pavlo could also have aces here.
Right.
Very, very low frequency, but...
Yeah, I mean, what, flats, the open, the jam behind an ISO, and he flats again. Certainly all the strongest hands are available, potentially. I guess, probably not. Gosh, I don't even know if he can have queens.
Yeah, this is insane. Georgios basically just waving the white flag here. So basically, it's either has aces, queens, or ace king. I think just population read would be that he has ace king. Although, having said that, if I had to take a random guess and just say based off of his like overall scores and whatnot, he's very capable of having traps here.
Right, and I mean, well, here we go. Wow, Maxim spikes the queen high flop, ace queen against ace king and jacks. Pavlo wins the big side pot. All of a sudden, Georgios Zisimopoulos is, well, one of the shorter stacks, down to 12 mil. Interesting that Henry obviously was questioning the original action against Maxim's jam, whether we just click range that we continue with there, or whether we have some jams. I guess if we're not jamming ace king, I guess we're just kind of always clicking range, right?
To be honest with you, I don't know if we want to be inducing with ace king off there.
Right.
Especially
click folding, isn't it? I'd imagine, but
I mean, is it though? Like, what did he like? He had like 15 behind. Yeah, I guess you're right. Actually, yeah. Because like Pavlo's range is like super nutted there.
Yeah, once Pavlo continues, it's just so strong, isn't it?
No, I just mean versus the initial open as well. Like under the gun versus +1, like Pavlo's ranges. We can have a quick look now with Odin. But it was like what 50 effective. Like Pavlo's range is literally 7s plus. And then other flats include ace queen, ace jack, ace 10, king queen suited, and then jacks and 10s are flatting a bunch.
Yeah.
Hey, Benapart in the chat saying, is that Henry from Wigan? I still don't know where that joke came from. I just remember, I don't know, it was someone in our chat, wasn't it, James? Someone that kept saying that?
Well, it was Aaron, wasn't it? I believe.
Yeah. And it's funny, when I was in the UK, I went up to visit some friends in Manchester for a week, and I actually drove past the sign for Wigan. But it was on the motorway, and I was like, yo, can we like pull out and just take a picture here of like me next to the Wigan sign? I didn't do it, and I do kind of regret not doing it.
That's got to be a big life regret.
That is a great meme. It is a great meme. I missed it. I missed the opportunity. Oh boy, that's a fun river. In before lead. Tamás weighing up his options here. Clubs brick. Jack 10 improves to trips. Going to bet some Jack 10-9 on the flop. Shouldn't have any offsuit combos of those. So interestingly, he either has like... He's going to have some like King 10, Ace 10s as well. Ace 10 of clubs, King 10 of clubs.
Yeah.
What do they start off with? Like 30 effective? I did watch it, and I did read the article. Vaccine Pusher. Barry Carter is very, very good when it comes to writing poker-related content. And yeah, understandable. Koray lives in Austria, is a tax resident in Austria, and is also one of the nicest people in the poker world. I honestly couldn't think of a better champion. Firstly, for the modern game, just what he represents in terms of his work ethic and the type of work he does, and secondly, just the type of person that he is. I'm actually really happy that he won. But yeah, the tax situation is pretty much the same every year. The argument's always the same. The American more.
I always love that article. It comes out every year with the what do the finalists really take home? It's always interesting.
Classic. It's just like, yeah, we get it. The IRS wins versus most of the field, and then a few Europeans break through and don't have to pay anything. And that was pretty much the case this final table, because there were, correct me if I'm wrong, only 3 Americans, which is very rare for the main.
I have to confess, I didn't see a second of it. So, no, without touch.
You were too busy living it up, and I had a big sweat going into day 6, man. Oof.
Oh yeah.
Oof.
We had a piece.
Oh mate, we had we had a very big sweat, and it just all went downhill. End of day 6, like came into day 6, top 5 stacks, and I'm already counting like the 500k in my head, right? Like I'm already just like get the boys on the rail. I'm like, oh, lads, we got a decent piece here. Very good poker player, has all the chips.
Who is this then?
Or
is it secret?
Yeah, I'll tell you off stream.
Okay, all good.
Yeah, it probably doesn't want me to tell, but yeah, it was pretty heartbreaking for both of us.
Yeah, the main event sweats. It's the one time you let yourself get excited, isn't it? You think, oh, this is the one.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I actually knew quite a few people going into day 6 and day 7. Was rooting for a couple of people.
Yeah. Which I think, yeah, I think my worst one was years back. Boarding I'm like at the airport, getting ready to board my flight back to the UK, and I've got 2%. I had a 2% swap with Paul Volpe, and he's in the mix with 2 tables left, and you're like, all right, this is quite good. And I remember like refreshing it, it's like, okay, 18 left, 17 left, 16 left. I like just getting ready to board the flight, like the one last refresh on the computer, like go to get on the plane, bang, Paul Volpe out in 15th, whatever, and it's just like I've just ruined a 10-hour flight for myself. I could have been sweating the whole time by not looking and just dreaming that I land and find he's on the final table, but wasn't to be.
Oh, that's terrible.
It's a cruel one.
That is a cruel one. Wow, final 15. So what year was that? Do you know?
I don't show it.
I mean, it's still like a 6-figure sweat, regardless, right?
Yeah, let's have a look.
Minimum 6
to
bids.
see. I had a lot of good scores. It's hard to find.
He has had.
Yeah, really hard to find.
Jumping back into this, was this single raise part? Bet flop, check turn, action on Glib.
I misremember this place. It was 20th he finished, but it was 2012.
Oof.
Greg Merson year.
That's how it says. Oh, some of these main event winners, man, pretty phenomenal.
Yeah.
Times, I swear. Like even like no disrespect to like Holmes, for example, but he was like the first one to admit it. He had like 1 score on his Hendon mob.
Oh really? Is that the chap who came second?
Yeah, he's known as Home Game Holmes. You know, from like a small town in the Midwest.
Awesome.
Yeah, just like normally plays 2-5 and small tournaments and whatnot, and then just like comes second in supposedly the biggest poker event. Poker's weird like that, it's yeah.
Yeah, I mean there's a thing is there's a few thousand players like that in the field, so it's someone's gonna get down there.
Yeah, 100%. And you're right, it's great for the game, and nice to see.
Home Game Holmes, I like it.
Yeah, Home Game Holmes making it. He came close, man. Croy had a pretty big chip lead coming into heads up play, and Holmes ended up turning it around for a decent stretch.
Yeah, I was sort of just checking in on Poker News as the event was going on, just briefly each day having a look, and just as soon as I saw Corey near the top of the count, so I was like, oh dear. Like, in fact, with I think about 200 left or 150 left, how much day it was, they came back, and I was like, this is ridiculous. The players left in this field. I saw like Stevie Chibbett was still in, Corey was in there, Toby Lewis, and they were just. I mean, there's obviously gonna be a bunch, but I remember looking at it going, wow, there are like so many legitimate guys who play like high rollers still in the mix in this event. It was crazy.
Yeah, it was a very good year for that. Like final 100. There are some very big names in the mix. I think Chance Corniff came like 15th, 14th.
That's right.
UK known player Rob Cohen.
Yeah, I was sweating Rob pretty hard, but nice to see him on the 3K PLO. Like,
he did.
A few days later. So some redemption.
I'm pretty furious. I normally have a piece of Rob. I've bought decent amounts of his stuff in the past, and I didn't have any of his stuff for this series. And then he just comes like 20th in the main, and then ships a 3K in like both events that I would snap by pieces of before. So I don't know if it's just because he started selling in a different group or something, but yeah. So I remember seeing his name. I was like, oh, do I want to anti-sweat him now that he's running deep? But
It's so hard, isn't it? The game of buying pieces when you're a regular buyer, and then they.
Yeah, I've actually ran pretty bad in that sense over the last couple of years. In fact, very bad. I would say close to 7 figures bad. Missed out on several 6-figure scores in spots where I would normally have a piece. It's just the way it works, I guess.
Yeah, certainly is. I mean, I'm in that boat. There's been plenty of mistakes.
I mean, you must be you've been doing commentary for a long time. You're going to all these big events. You know people. I'll give us a cheeky 5% here and there, and that one time you forget how Party Poker Millions, and all of a sudden you see the guy shipping 1 mil.
Yeah, I've had a few bad ones, but I remember one in particular where I was always buying pieces of this guy. I'm not going to say who it was, but they ended up having a. Well, I'm always buying between 10 and 20% of their packages, and they end up having a 800k score, and I'm just like, oh, can't breathe. But the breaks. I've been buying pieces of them in that same series up until then, and then just missed the message about the high roll or whatever, or main event, whatever it was. Can't remember. That was that. They sold out, and I was like, oh damn, okay. Oh, no worries, mate.
Oh, that's insane. I mean, that's bad. If you'd been buying pieces of action from that series, you should always get first refusal. I have people that I message for cash game packages before I even put posts out in any groups, just because they've bought off me 4 or 5 times. Yeah, hey man, no pressure, play shot taking this game, whatever. You get first refusal because you bought off me before.
Yeah, it was a little. I remember at the time I was a little pissed that they'd not pissed. I was before they'd won. I was before the tournament started. I said well, I've been buying blah blah blah, and you just put it publicly on Facebook. I was could have just given me a shout. I'd have bought I've been buying, but it wasn't. That's how the person had been doing earlier in the series. So I guess they just kept it consistent. I just missed the message. I just missed the post. So there we go.
Yeah. First rejam spot of the day. We've taken it for 25.
First rejam with expectancy of some folds, perhaps. We saw Maxim obviously triple up, but there we go. Let's get more through. And like you were saying before, obviously Georgios opening pretty wide. We saw Queen 10 offsuit at Showdown. Obviously it was a lot deeper then, but maybe allowing for slightly lighter jams.
By the way, say what you want about Negreanu and Helmuth. Those guys show up, man.
I'm a big defender of Helmuth, and the sort of dismissiveness some people have. Whoa, look at this hand. Sorry, we'll come back to that in a second. 175, 350. Pavlo under the gun, open. Alexis 3-bets the next seat, and then Ivan rips it in for 24 milli. Wow.
Yeah, it's just absolutely no. This feels like Ace King. I don't think Jax is snap jamming there, although I don't know much about either. What's going on here? Strange. This is sub 15. This is going to be super nutted. Especially in a bounty. Pavlo weighing up his options. I mean, should always be defending versus min, but just lets it go. Excuse Excuse me.
Early morning, Henry.
Yeah, no, I was pretty frustrated, to be honest with you,
Really?
that we only have the one stream, because I've been on such a solid schedule out here in the Bronx, and to change it just for one stream is hopefully I'll be able to just fix it straight away. But yeah, I've been in bed for like 11 p.m. the latest every night. It's been really nice.
Nice. Things switching around is Maxim getting to open up on Alexis's stack. As Alexis is now the shortest. Maxim comfortably covers. It's quite a reasonable bounty on Alexis as well, 3.5k. In fact, just looking around those bounties, Henry, sort of catching up with it. Georgios with what's over 6k bounty and down to 10 mil after that Ace King endeavor.
A lot of EP opens today. Top of range being dealt from early position, apparently. Although
apparently, I like how we caveat that. Apparently.
Yeah, I mean, look, Gleb's from Russia. It's got like 1.6 million in live earnings.
They do some
it's got
stuff.
6 million in online earnings. So he's definitely going to be a couple of pips. It's not even going to be like pips wider. It's just going to be pips wider than population. It's still going to be very GTO and computer approved.
Computer approved.
Pavlo came first in the 2021 Millions Online 5k high roller turbo. So yeah, I mean, live stats aren't everything.
No.
Hendon mobs aren't everything. Like, we got Pavlo with just shy of 40k in total live earnings, but then he started playing 5ks online.
Right.
I don't know whether that was just a one-off satellite, but yeah.
But it's like the Tamás, I don't know, but has a $250,000 score online, only has $2,784 in live earnings. So I mean, yeah, it never quite tells the full story, does it?
Yeah. Let's scroll through now. I feel like we've seen quite a lot of Thomas Hueber before, but
I was thinking that. It's definitely a name I recognised.
I feel like I've seen him in some of the bigger stuff online as well.
Yeah, I was having a look earlier because I remember Alexis, and it was he got to the final of one of our high rollers. But I had to have a look now. It was, I think, one of the Poker Masters ones, I believe. Oh, a super high roller ball online. There we go. Came sixth in that 10k, won by D Peters. Ivan, popping it up. Just saying, no surprise, Henry, to see this No bust outs so far on this final table. And I mean, actually, we've seen a fair amount of action, but as we saw, that the hands that have been turned over have been pretty good. I mean, like I said at the start of the show, just so deep when they reached this final table. See here,
Yeah.
175, 350, and still, no one critically short, bar maybe Alexis, but 9-handed. You got 15 plus blinds. It's pretty incredible.
Yeah, I'm not surprised at all to seen any bust outs thus far. Ivan's been getting after it, man. He's had a couple of early position where he had the cold fall jam for like 80 bigs, which just felt like ace king, but could have been queens, I guess. Timing tells. Yeah, not surprised to see Ivan knuckle this one back. Goes for the lead. See bet on the 10 of hearts turn. Nice. Got some king queen O's plus some ace jack O's. How many people we got in here currently? 94 of you.
Warriors tuning in, cards down. If you are one of those 94 just joining, this is the Irish Poker Masters knockout. Unfortunately, sans whole cards this evening. That means, well, we should have to think a lot more, Henry. Find it hard though, Henry. I like it. When you can see one set of cards, you play along. What you do, but it's two. Life gets tough. Joel, popping it up, being relatively quiet. This is a man, like I say, who has a big bounty on his head coming into the final, 7K. And there we go. I think that's his first open. First open I've noticed anyway, but instantly pounced upon Pavlo.
Yeah, is his bounty worth more than 9th place payout?
Yeah, it's wild, isn't it?
Oh, wow. That is a grim setup.
And there it is. Joel with the big bounty, now with the big stack. Like you say, Henry, pretty grim. That huge bounty on the line.
That's pretty insane.
So,
the 4-spade run out as well. So sick.
Neither
with a spade.
Two of those big stacks kicked off the day. Georgios and Pavlo, both now pretty short. Glib going for it under the gun once more. Alexis ripping from the small. And off to the races we go once more. Alexis with the very commanding lead, holding ace, king, and, well, Henry, basically, pretty much another setup. Ace, king, ace, queen in a KO tournament.
Wow, ace queen's gonna be folding there.
You don't like it, no?
Yeah, ace queen is just the absolute waffle. I can have a look. Yeah, what was it? 4.5 mil.
Yeah, it was around that, I think.
So let's call it 15.
Yeah, I think it was like
Under
12
the
or
gun
12.
boxes.
It was only like 12 or 13 blinds, right? It was 13 blinds, I think.
Ace queen there.
I ain't folding. Put a gun to my head, I'll fold, Henry, but...
Yeah, so it's... Wow. Wow, I mean, Glib's just GG's. Like,
Oh.
straight out the door.
It skipped my attention, Henry. Is that
Two
opened?
hands.
Okay, yeah. Wow.
Maxim just
Yeah.
finds himself in the middle of the pack now.
Not just get triple up, Henry, but has also knocked someone out and increased their own bounty. Glib out in ninth for what, 6.8k in cash, 3.25 in bounties. Yeah, not the. I was looking through the lobby, Henry, and I noticed that someone finished 13th, cashed for 17k combined. So
Wow.
there'll be more than a couple who finished in this final table with less than 14th place, which is the fun of these bounty events. I can only assume that player is the reason, perhaps that maybe Joel or Georgios came into this final table with such big bounties. They obviously did some wrecking and then got wrecked themselves.
Yeah, often the case in these bounty events. Yeah, by the way, it's calling Ace Jacko as bottom. I guess that's without bounties as well, so maybe I was slightly off there. I tell you, I'm like terrible with these spots.
Inner ICM man just. Tamás popping it up. Ivan flat in on the button. Joel now with that big stack. Let's it go. Maxim. I think a three-way Henry from the big blind. Just going to do with a fair amount of hands, right? Plenty of which can potentially connect with this 9-7-3. Tamás going to be missing this most of the time.
Yeah, gonna have the suited ace-x as well as some suited broadways. Still has sevens through aces as well. Just gets to protect his checking range, although I don't think population are balanced enough in these spots. The classic check on the scare card. And let's see if Tamás can turn his hand like King, Queen of Spades into a bluff. See if Ivan's good enough to have some traps as well. It's definitely good enough, whether he has a trap in that spot.
In this
Like,
instance,
people just stab way too wide on those like 9-7-3 rainbows and then snap give up on the ace turn. But Tamás's floating range is still going to contain a bunch of suited broadways.
Tamás defending against Thomas Hueber, opening under the gun off that shallow stack. It's going to be fairly nutted, Henry, and it won't like seeing a Jack 7-9 flop when the big blind peels, will it? That under the gun range.
It's not the most pleasant board in the world, that's for sure.
Bets half pot. No. Continues from the big Henry, and it gets even grimmer. Won the Imagines for Thomas here, seeing the 10 of clubs roll off. And sure enough, a lead, Henry. Pretty reasonable, of course, the lead on this card. You just have all of the advantage, don't you, really, against the under the gun open.
Yeah, I like it. Puts a lot of pressure on overpairs.
Oh.
Even overpairs with clubs.
Yeah, Thomas continues. Board pairs on the end. Pairs non-club as well. Half pot behind, or, well, a little more. It's Tamás. Going to put his man to the test. No.
Gives up.
White flagging it, Henry. White flagging it.
Interesting on the Jack 9-7. We should never have a half pot sizing versus big blind.
Thomas with a rip. Might speculate who we want as to what Thomas had here. There's some ace king of clubs, ace queen of clubs. Henry contenders.
Yeah, king queen, jacks, tens, nines, even sevens. Sevens are going to be opening a bunch. Well, they're opening pure. So yeah, it has all the boats, all the straights, all the flushes. I say all the flushes. Decent flushes. Then the hands that bluff. Ace Queen O, I guess. Although I don't think Ace Queen O... Does Ace Queen bet flop? Yeah, it does bet flop. Close to pure as well. It checks more with the ace of clubs, actually. Ace of clubs, queen of clubs.
Some spice. 200, 400. Ivan pops it up. Tamás with the 3-bet on the button to 3 million.
That was me saying that I think we're going to have a very honest game, and I don't think that's the case. That's
a
lot of aggression pre-flop, which is very frustrating when you don't have any hole cards as well, because you kind of just want to see who's at it and who's not. And also, I really enjoy seeing who's getting picked on, like who's perceived as the easy target.
Joel with the chip lead, courtesy of that aces versus queens popping up. Thomas with the 3-bet this time from the button. It's been a lot of, like you say, suggested it may play very honest, but so far we've seen a lot of action pre-flop. Some of it, of course, very warranted. But I'm beginning to suspect, Henry, quite a lot of it not so.
Yeah, that 3-betting range from Thomas there is going to be very nutted, though. But maybe one of the ones that we can let him off.
We'll let him off that one. All right, guys. Well, looks like we have reached our first break of the evening, so please don't go too far. We'll be back for more of this, the Irish Poker Masters Knockout Final Table, right here on Party Poker.
Can he get away? All of you watching at home, ask yourself the question. Could you get away? I don't think I could. We do get a call. We are going to see a river here. 4 outs remain for Vadim L to stay alive in this tournament. He needs a queen and only a queen, or we will see Vadim S double through. Oh my god, it's a queen! Unbelievable. 9% going to the river. Bam. Smashes the queen to stay alive in the tournament. Gonna double up to around 90,000. Can you believe that?
Here we go. Great shape for the double up. Get back to 1.9 million chips. Jack 8-5 Vahe. Well, not hanging around to watch. He is going for a smoke. Well, that's a new one on me. Vahe runs out to the balcony area, I assume for a cigarette. And Vahe gets the double when he's not even in the room. That is a new one. He's up to 1.9 million in chips. It looks like already that was our final hand of the first 2 hours. Interesting. We saw him out of nowhere with 7-3. Well, is Maxim going to take the bait? That's exactly what's happening. He's laid the trap. Totally snapping, and Maxim needs to find a 4. Well, he will be eliminated here at the WPT Russia. And that's exactly what he's done on the 994 flop. Of course, an ace or queen. Still outs for Anatolia. That's what spiked. Just a 4 again for Maxim will do it. And that's that. Spiked a 4, but it's no good. Maxim hits the rail. Anatolia back to 1.7 million, where he was when we joined this feature table.
Alexander has a flush. The worst possible card for Ilya. Making trip 6s. I don't think he can get a wave here. You make trips on the river. Alexander's going to bet 20k. I can't think of a worse river. Did Ilya just raise? To 43,000. Alexander calls. The flush is good. Ilya going for a very thin raise, and we can see Alexander with the flush. Gonna take down a huge pot there. 115,000 in the middle.
Don't see Matas folding. Made a very weak bet on the river, having called pre, check call turn. Doesn't really have a whole host of strong hands. I mean, you can have the big hands like a flush, but does he bet 25,000 with them on the river? I'm not so sure. I think if you weak lead the river, you've just got a call here with a hand as strong as a set. You can have perhaps some hands like Queen 10, Queen Jack, maybe. Go that way. No, okay. Matas does give it up. Nice play, Dimitri. Using that 10, running a big bluff. Welcome back, one and all, to this, the Irish Poker Masters knockout final table. And well, Henry, we do have one knockout, but other than that, it's been kind of gone as we expected, I guess. Not too much action with the deep stacks on offer.
Yeah, definitely as we expected. Coming into this final table, shortest stack being what, 22 bigs, something ridiculous like that.
Yeah.
So still tons of play. Although this blind level, I mean, 200, 400, everyone's sub 100 bigs now. So I guess that's something.
Gets us in the right direction.
So it does.
Here we go then. Pavlo in action. Just blind on blind, leading the ace-7 4-flop, Henry, and getting raised. That's quite peculiar given the stack sizes on offer here. That Alexis has too many raises on ace-7 4, right?
You don't get much post-flop playability. These stack bets.
Well, check turn.
Yeah, it might just be a case of peeling a free one. Realizing some equity. Couple of hands get there. 8-9 of spades, 8-5, 5 tray. But no. Snap, fold.
Curious on that one. Alexis check back pre and then raise an ace high flop and then obviously end up folding.
Yeah. I'll have to reg this. It's just a pure reg. Neighbor, I said, where is Eduardo? Not sure who you're talking about. Is he supposed to be here?
I'm lost. I am lost, but welcome. Anyway, Snake Bright. In fact, welcome all of you. If you are just joining, you are watching the Irish Poker Masters knockout main event here. €1,100 buy-in. And well, Georgios heading 1.8. I have to confess to okay, getting some much needed value from those two queens. Ivan paying him off and gets back above the 10 million mark, still below 30 bigs. There we go. Giuliano on the case. Eduardo. Over on Party Poker BR. This is, of course, a special stream for the Irish Poker Masters knockout.
Okay. Oh, now we know where Eduardo is. Shout out to him.
Everyone desperate for some Irish Poker Masters action. In fact, the stake that pop from Georgios taking a bit out of Ivan, just leveling things up again. Alexis still the shortest. But we're inching towards... I mean, you take Alexis out of the equation, Henry, and really it's a double up from Georgios up to Ivan in second. Near enough. Joel, obviously, a little bit further ahead, but it's getting snug in the middle.
It really is. And when you take consideration that the difference between 6th and 1st is most likely going to be around about 100.
Yeah. Ivan at it again from the hijack, opening up with Joel behind in the cutoff on the big stick. Does relinquish.
Getting to that stage now as well, just scanning around a table of quite a few 3-bet jamming stacks. I was about to say, like, even Thomas of 35 can just rip here.
Well, goes for 3 million, gets it done, and we really are seeing. It's a shame, Henry, to not see what's going on with these hands, because we've seen a lot of pre-flop action, haven't we? That hasn't resulted in much continuation.
Yeah. I'm just gonna say that, I don't know, maybe just the classic top 10% of hands being distributed at quite a high frequency around the table.
People are getting ace king in the right seat. Is that what you're saying, Henry? Just always happy to have it.
I would say so. Sounds about right.
Joe, getting one through.
Yeah, Joel should start really coming out of his shell a bit here now. This is like the territory where he can start to just
right.
Open up a few pips wider than usual, with Maxim and Thomas and Georgios all just kind of sandwiched there in the middle at the moment, whilst Alexis is so short.
Zisimo gets one through with a 3-bet jam from the button. Back up to 30 blinds. He, Maxim, Thomas, all at that mark. Tamás, Pavlo, Ivan that little bit deeper. It is Alexis, the shallowest. Having to give up the small blind there. And down to just 11 blinds.
Still, great structure.
Yep.
Not much you can do at 11 bigs with bounty on your head as well, albeit one of the smallest ones. Actually, I guess it's like middle.
It is Alexis on the button with a decision. What to do? These 11 blinds. Results in a walk for Joel.
Come on, Alexis. Let's get a cheeky double.
Zisimo popping up once again. Has been very active pre-flop, Henry. Obviously, as you alluded to earlier, opening that Queen 10 off from +1 was very different than, of course, being one of the big stacks. But clearly happy to get involved, despite there being still 8 players left in this final table.
Yeah, there's been quite a lot of that actually. Quite a lot of like close spots that I feel like I would genuinely pass up on. But then when you're as rich as Georgios, maybe that's not the play.
Well, Seabet here against Joel from the small gets a call, and Joel with the lead on the Jack of Spades turn for tiny bet size, Henry, just 600k. And again, a very small bet, Henry, 1 milli into 5.5.
Yeah, it's trying to get a pair to showdown.
There it is, the King 8. Not quite as good as the King Jack. Zisimo flopping a flush draw, turning the gin card, really. Here comes our man. Alexis slides over. 11 blinds. 3.5k bounty on his head, but no call.
Always think that those short stack jams are just going to get looked up. One of the rare cases where actually just got through.
All right, Joel popping up. Tamás defending the small blind. Is Joel going to dip below the 30 million mark? Actually, pretty incredible if we'd gone from a state of the stacks being that deep at the start, Henry, and then everyone being below 75 bigs potentially after this hand. Just because it's all equalising.
There was me saying, "Oh, yes, the final table won't take too long. This could actually go on for some time."
Oh, this one will run a while.
What have we got coming up
the
in
last of the
December?
20-minute levels? The millions online, Henry. The biggie. You should know by now, guys. This is the Party Poker's largest festival. As Joel gets the dirty on the end with the King 10-0 no heart against nut hearts of Tamás. Finds a king, scoops up the pot. Maybe, just maybe, it is Joel Holmberg's tournament. But obviously, the main event, Henry, of Millions Online, 5 million guaranteed, but there'll be a whole host of side events for all budgets. Obviously, we're familiar now with the Millions Online. There's always those monstrous high rollers. The last couple of years, we had the 100k high roller in there. Expect all that to return. I was looking earlier, Henry. I noticed it's still not. Schedule's still not in the lobby. I don't know what's been announced so far by socials and whatnot, but at the moment in the lobby, it is not. In there, bar the 1k and the main event. So 5k and a 1k. But I mean, keep your eyes peeled, guys. It won't be long till that's all announced, and obviously the satellites will get underway for all the rest of the side events, etc. I know they're underway for the main event already, but It will be a biggie, as it always is. The millions online.
Do you think there'll be more than one stream?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yes. Oh yes. So yeah, the schedule you and I have been sent, Henry, so far is of course just the one confirmed date, which is the the millions final table. But I'd have a guess that we'll be showing the preceding date of that as well, and then of course a host of high rollers and whatever else is chosen for our viewing pleasure. Hopefully some PLO maybe, Henry. Who knows?
Yeah, that'd be nice. Feels like it's been a while since I've done any PLO commentary.
In fact, I think we were about to venture onto PLO just before the break, weren't we? Because you were mentioning messes at Helmuth and Negreanu who found themselves three-handed in that 50k PLO at the World Series.
Yeah.
Pretty fun to see.
I mean, yeah, I just really can't take anything away from those two. They just seem to be so consistent. And also, like, DNegs has been really showing up this last year. Like, battling with the best in the world. Just gotta respect it. So much respect. The work he's put into his game post Doug Polk.
Yeah.
There was quite a few people as well when he kind of took on the heads up challenge that alluded to that happening. You know, sure, lose $1 million against Doug, but the value that you get out of it in the long run going to be worth more than whatever you lose in the 25k hands or 20k hands or whatever it was. And that certainly seems to have been the case.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't see much. I think I saw one hand of the 50k just on a YouTube clip, but it was just great to see those two in there in such a prestigious event battling out. And I say, I mean, I'll defend the pair of them. They've both got their flaws and whatnot, but when it comes to their records in poker, they just keep winning. I mean, there's no you can't take it away from them. I know, obviously, like you say, Daniel probably gets a bit more respect from the poker community as a poker player because everyone knows he does put in a lot of work and keeps up the trends. But obviously, Phil Helmuth gets dismissed so easily by so many people in this community. But he just keeps winning year after year. Henry, he's there in the mix in these tournaments, and there's other stuff to poker. The old white magic, you know, it's in there. The table presence, this kind of stuff. It matters. I know it's less relevant in the big buy-in events, but there's a lot of weight that comes with that sort of stuff that perhaps people who, instead of dismissing Phil Helmuth, can try and learn from him. Because, yeah, fundamentals may not be all that, but he definitely does some stuff better than nearly everybody else, I'd say, Henry.
I'd say so. I must say also, this spot here, Thomas has been very aggro pre-flop.
Oh, very wet-looking ball as well. 3-bet pot.
Yeah, not thrilled about it, but continuing, I guess.
All right, Alexis ripping from the small for a total of 9.5 blinds. Ivan very heavily incentivized to call here. Given the time taken so far, I'm guessing we haven't found too much. I mean, what percent of hands are we supposed to call with here, Henry? I mean,
versus 9 big jam.
Yeah, but I mean, before we include the fact that it's a bounty tournament.
Yeah, I mean, this is close to an NE2 spot.
Wow.
So this must be really bottom of range. I guess it's I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe not any two.
I mean, obviously not any two, but I think you're right. It probably isn't far off. Like, just the garbage off suit hands and most other stuff called, I'd have thought.
Yeah, I mean,
Bounty
for 15, we're calling as wide as King 9-0 and King 7 suited. Queen 10-0, Jack 10-0, any pair, any ace. That's for 15. That's in a vanilla. So we're probably meant to be calling like as wide as Queen 7-0 plus Jack 8, Jack 9, and then any suited King, Queen, probably close to any suited Jack and 10. Chuck in some 9-8s, 9-7s, 8-7s for subs hands. Yeah, it's a fun one. Everyone guaranteed 8k plus their bounties. This is just tilt spot. What's up, Debs?
I just clocked something in the bottom left corner, Henry, of the screen. Discuss a deal. 1 out of 8. Who do we reckon's click the button?
Ooh.
Who's keen?
Honestly, I couldn't tell you. I feel like everyone's played. Well, how many showdowns have we had so far? We had the Ace King versus Ace Queen.
Yeah, Ace King, Ace Queen, Ace, Jack's hand.
We had the Ace King, Ace Queen, Jack's hand.
We've also had the elimination of Ace 9 v Ace King on the Ace High board, and
yeah, we then had the Aces versus Queens. So we've had like 4, 5 showdowns.
Yeah, in big pots. In big pots, I think we've had a handful of smaller ones, but yeah.
Yeah, so pretty tough to say. Hey, Shiro saying, Henry, how's Paquette? Paquette is treating us well, my friend. How are you doing, bud?
Joel scooping one up and starting to stretch that little bit further ahead, Henry. Up to 39 million in chips. The next largest stack, Ivan, to his right with 25. Everyone else, sub 20. Joel is starting, Henry, to perhaps turn that screw.
Yeah, he's done. He seemed to put his foot down on the gas at the perfect moment.
Yeah.
Right at the time where it made a lot of sense for him to, and yeah, I must say it's playing the role pretty well. Yeah, it's just like good luck, Ivan, you know. Pretty hilarious that you think you can open in this spot.
Yeah, like I said, the Ivan the second largest, but is
It's just like
In
imagine
Joel's pocket.
opening ace 9 suited there. It's just like get in the bin. Just like sit down. Love it. Love it. This could be a very interesting couple of levels. Like Joel could really run away from it here. Run away with it here. Like Ivan, Pavlo, Thomas, all in the absolute cage here. And with it being so top heavy as well, it wouldn't surprise me to see some form of ICM suicide where one of them just kind of goes for it because they don't want to just play for second. Take one of those close spots where it's like, okay, could bust in 8th, but if I win, I also win the tournament.
A roll of the dice.
Okay.
Tamás, here we go. Like you say, coming after our man Joel, opening off that chip lead.
I respect it. I mean, it's easy when you just have like kings, right? But great board for Tamás.
Alexis gives it up from the small. Again, like Henry was saying, obviously jamming range. I guess Henry from the small has to be that little bit tighter, given that Ivan's going to be incentivized to call off light with this bounty in play.
Yeah, but Ivan also covers Tamás, Thomas, and Pavlo, so that's also something to take into consideration. How important it is to keep that lead over those other 3 stacks.
Right. That's a great point. Really, probably an overlooked point by myself, Henry, and I'm sure plenty of us are watching may not be fully attuned sometimes to those dynamics on these knockout final tables.
Oh, myself included.
Just keeping yourself above those other stacks is worth so much. Not just in being able to knock people out, right, Henry, but also just in the fact that they can't. They're less incentivized to mess with you, right? You get away with a little bit more if you cover everyone.
Yeah, and also at like this point, bounties aren't that relevant when it comes to for chips. Was starting stack 1 million, I assume? Maybe no. What would it have been? Would have been 500k, 100k. Starting bounty. I'm confused now. It would be 250, I guess. Yeah. So you get half the.
Ivan coming after George. George popping it up. Off at 27.
See if Joel goes after him again. He's thinking about it. Made him sweat. Aaron, what's up, dude? How's Wigan? Wigan's all right, mate. It's really warm and
There he is. There he is.
really humid.
I told you to get Aaron along for the little Wigan question sooner or later. Aaron, if you are just joining us, which sounds like you are, you've missed out on. Henry's already told us the story of deep regret, whereby he was driving past the sign for Wigan and didn't stop, didn't get a selfie, really let himself down. The Wigan's favourite son, just mugging off his hometown like that.
I was on the motorway, to be fair.
No excuses.
But yeah, it was one of those ones where I was like, I could have pulled over. Started regretting it instantly.
Oh, a wild story's come to my head there, but completely unrelated. But you were on a motorway and didn't stop. Hang on a second. Maxim 3-pet ripping over Joel's. What can assume is a rather wide range open.
Yeah, it makes sense. Cut off open and let the leveling wars begin.
Yeah, so my a story I'm going to tell you, Henry. Bizarre story. So my friend the other week, he's on his way up to some climbing in the Lake District, and I think there's a train to Manchester, and his friend picks him up, and they throw all the stuff in the van, start driving, get to location, get out. His jacket's not there. He's like, I definitely packed my jacket. Blah blah blah. He's like, the van was like half open or something. It must have flown out on the road. Yeah. He's like, can't believe this was like so annoying. Like, the jacket's obviously flown out on the road. Anyway, he does his climb anyway without it because he's like doesn't feel the cold. He's not human. But driving back on like the 100-mile drive back from the Lake District to Manchester, where this coat could be anywhere. He's driving a little dual carriageway and suddenly thinks he's spotted it. Oh, hang on a second. Thomas Hueber going for Aleksejs Meless and does the trick, Henry. Aleksejs out in 8th for 8.6 plus another 6.5 in bounties. And Thomas suddenly vaults out of that middle pack and gets things pretty even with Ivan, but has a more favourable seat perhaps than Ivan.
Yeah, nice little extra 4.5 mil chucked in there as well, courtesy of Joel's flat. But yeah, go on. So he's driving back.
Yeah, so they're driving back, and he's literally on a dual carriageway, and he told me the story. I was like, I couldn't believe it. He'd actually filmed it. I mean, he's somehow spotted going at like 70 miles an hour. His jacket on like on the other side of the carriageway on a grass verge. Like he's just seen this jacket by chance, and I was like, when I saw a video of it, it's like a dark blue jacket. Like there's no way you could see it. It was insane. Like what run good is that? Like.
Yeah, that's pretty ridiculous.
So they obviously go up to the next junction, spin back round, find it, grab this jacket. It's still perfectly fine. Only been lying there for a day, and saved him like the 300 or 400 quid, whatever it costs. I'm like, that is some serious motorway run good. Like, how does he see? Like, you just, on the road for an hour and a half, 2 hours. And
like, how did he lose it in the first place? Like,
yeah, it's like freak that it flew out. Like, I can't remember if he told me the van was partially open or something. I don't really pay that much attention to that part of the story, but it's the fact that he somehow spotted this over. It wasn't like he was looking for it. He just corner of his eye thought he saw it like over, 50 meters away over 2 lanes of traffic. That is when you're running good.
That is pretty crazy, yeah.
I mean, some would say running good is not having it fly out of the van on the way up, but
True.
They're wrong.
True.
The run good is finding it. Makes you feel good about life.
Can't argue with that, yeah. Aaron saying money and fame goes to your head, I guess. To be fair, going through Wigan at 100 miles an hour is the best way to get to see it. I could call you out on that one. It's only doing 60. Wow, Joel with the old check raise on the ace high board.
George just jumps into action. Loves it. The guy does love it. C-bets the ace 7-6. Ivan continues from the button. Joel from the small. Feels like I've said Joel from the small quite a few times today, Henry. Seems to be an action from the small a fair amount.
Wow, this is tournament winning pot right here. 10 mil out there. Got to guess with a pretty nutted range advantage. That's a boring river. Don't tell me Joel just wins with like ace 5. There he goes, block. Okay. He doesn't. I mean, this is insane how tight this is. Blind sneaking up though. This is never a bluff. This should be a pretty tight range from Thomas as well. I say that, I mean.
Yeah.
Would be like, yeah, let's just bow out. Joel letting it slip a little bit, giving some of it back. B66. No.
Tamás coming after it from the button. I want to see what Zisimo is going to be like now, Henry, with these newfound chips. And clawed back up to 23 mil. Active enough with 10 mil. And you assume going to try and kick on from here. Maybe the one to try and break out from this pack. You were suggesting someone might try and do that. Well, here we go. First opportunity. 3-bet from the big blind up to 4 million.
Yeah, he had a foot out the door at one point. So it seemed. Pretty slow start today, though. Only, what, 2 hours into it?
Yeah. Again, I can only assume, Henry, I didn't see any of it last night, that they just managed to whittle down to the final table very quickly, given how deep things were for... Well, the final table average at the start today was, I think, 67 big blinds in what had been a 20-minute clock up until then. So, I mean, it's pretty unheard of, I'd have thought.
Yeah, you don't get that every day.
Joel, 2.5 milli on the turn. Have I given it up? Thomas. Wow, that's crazy. Nothing separates Zisimo, Thomas, and Ivan now. 22 to 24 milli. Jack 8 deuce, couple of spades.
It's a fun turn card. Expect to see a high frequency barrel from Thomas here.
Pretty big one, I would imagine, as well, right, Henry?
Yeah, just really put Ivan in the blender.
I check back.
What are you blocking with here? Strong 8?
Yeah, that makes sense, doesn't it? 8
King
and over. Yeah.
Any jack?
Okay. Jack it is. Paid off it is. Not even again inches into second place.
Wonder what heroes there like.
Well, that's plenty has missed, right? Jack 8 deuce. Straight draws have missed, all the flush draws have missed. Or a small bet, I guess. Well, certainly any 8's going to call, isn't it?
Yeah, plus, yeah, pairs, obviously.
Yeah, 9s, 10s, some of the smaller pairs, yeah, the 7s through 3s, I guess. Zisimo popping it up. Gets 3-bet by Ivan.
This is pretty insane, the amount of 3-bets this final table.
Yeah, I can see these two getting stuck into it, can't you?
Yeah.
All right, well, 3-bet from Ivan, flat from Georgios, and ace, queen, jack, couple of diamonds. That's 1/3.
Praying for a brick turn.
And here it is.
Pretty much brick.
15 minutes already in there. Wow. Zisimo with, 17.5 behind.
Wow. I mean, I guess you check ace king, right?
Check back queen pairs. It's not the... Well, that's Ivan waving the flag, Henry. But I guess, like you say, I mean, some of those stronger hands still checking, aren't they? Like you say, ace king's probably going to still check. one assumes. Or would ace king block, Henry?
I mean, we have more offsuit combos of queens, so it really only has like king queen, queen 10 suited.
No. George now betting 6.5 into 15. I mean, people 3-bet. Henry, I guess to have, well, I mean, some flop strength, I guess, like some king 10 suited, some king queen. And then bluffs would be what, miss diamonds?
Miss diamonds, jack 10, pocket 10s.
This, yeah, I'm trying to think what. I said king 10, but I mean, the king 10 realistically doesn't check back turn, does it? I would have thought. I'm open deep in the tank on this one. Whoa, here we go.
Wow, that's gangster.
Wow. I mean,
That's really gangster.
Repping insane strength now, right? I mean, aces that c-bet flop check turn, is that ace queen? It does, I mean,
That's so cool.
wow. This, I don't know. I'm trying to find hands he does this with, Henry, but
Like, 3-bet pre.
But then George is just
small.
George is kind of capped at king queen, right? I mean,
yeah.
So
I agree. Yeah. So obviously very capped when turn goes check check. Ivan can still have all the traps: ace queen, aces, queens. Yeah.
Wow.
This is and it looks like Georgios has a genuine tank here as well.
Right, I was expecting a quick fold, to be honest. I was expecting especially what we've seen so far from him, like a misdraw bluff that just gets put in the bin. But obviously, so what hands do bet here and have to decide? Is it like, yeah, queen 10, king queen?
Yeah.
Is he thinking hearing off of like
ace 10 suited?
10? Yeah.
Just like obviously an ace is any
Right.
ace.
Any ace being a chop at this point. Is he trying to?
I think you'd obviously rather call with ace 5 than ace 10 for obvious reasons. You want him to be turning a hand like 10s, jack 10 into a bluff. Wow. Sick.
Whoa,
Sick.
Ivan.
Sick,
Ivan.
sick.
Wow. Getting very unlucky, but trying to make Georgios fold some thinner value. And, wow, doesn't achieve it. And all of a sudden, Henry, he started with a big stack, went down to 10 million. Look at this. Bang, bang. Up to 50 mil, courtesy of that river call.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a line that doesn't make much sense, right? 3-bet pre, bet flop. You shouldn't be slowing down on that turn for obvious reasons. You want to deny as much equity as possible. Have a range advantage, and yeah, then checking river as well as a trap. I mean, not a very common line. 3-bet pot here, by the way. Thomas opening from EP. Georgios just 1 seat over 3-bet, so we're gonna get to see a showdown at least. See what he's 3-bet with. It's a pretty out of line one.
Nothing surprises me with this lad. Chop chances. Wasn't Ivan with the full double back in the game. Here we go. This final has burgled into life.
That 3-bet seems pretty out of line.
It's easy, my man. That's what he does. Thomas popping up from the gun at 3-6, and Tamás ripping it in over the top. This one really is kicking it into gear. Ivan down to just 8.7 million, having doubled up to 8.7.
What's been going on in the world of football? James?
We're going off. Man United finally pulled the trigger. Ollie is no longer at the wheel.
Oh, is he not?
And then they went and won today, so there we go. Not that it really bothers me, but Maxim.
Got rid of him.
Yeah, it's been him. What else is going on? Well, they won today. What else? I don't know. That's about the only story, I guess. It was the international breaks, wasn't it? There was nothing going on. International football nonsense. Thomas on the button. Scary proposition with Zisimo behind.
First one's always a trap, right?
It's the Kilbane rule. First limp is always the trap. I'd be scared if this man starts limping into me, Henry. The way he plays full throttle all the time.
Blinds are, was it 20-minute levels, you say?
30-minute now. We're into the 30-minute.
Feels like it's been going a lot faster than that.
Pavlo popping up on the button. Ivan running it. Going for double up number 2, potentially.
Oh boy. Let's see him, boys.
Here we go.
This is...
Great shape. Oh. Oh. He holds Henry. Bosh, bosh. Back to 20 mil, just like that. Easy game, isn't it?
Yeah, man. Close to the stack that he had against the Georgios when those two clashed heads.
Yeah, it was on 28 million before that hand, I think.
Yeah, I'd say so. Sounds about right.
Joel ripping from the small, gets it through. Round to Joel once more on the button. A rare fold from Joel on the button. There must be some garbage hand there, Henry.
Bottom 5%.
Actually, I suppose, well, I say the situation has changed a little bit. It's actually even more advantageous for the shorter steps because Pavlo down to 5 million is shorter than Ivan was a moment ago. So despite the fact the short step double up, there's an even shorter step now, ICM-wise. I suppose... Yeah, but with a bigger bounty, I wonder. I mean, do those guys fold more because Pavlo's shorter with a big bounty and kind of they're not going to tussle too much with the chip leader? Who knows? Maybe something we can discuss on the flip side of the break, which is what's going to happen right now. So, guys, please don't go too far. We'll be back in 5 minutes for more of this Irish Poker Masters Knockout Online main event. Wow, well, this is going to be curtains unless he finds a spade. He flops the nut flush draw. Anton trip tens. Anton won't be able to believe his luck. All in, snap call. Well, Anton's going to be pretty sick to see he's not got Carl dead.
Nice flop.
But he's in great shape for this 1.25 million chip pot.
Nice flop that was, wasn't it?
Oh, with the 8 outs, needs a spade. 7. Oh, wow. King on the river gives him a flush, but Anton a full house.
That's playing with you, mate. That's playing with you. Good luck, boys. Have a nice evening if you're still here.
For 179,000 would have been that's like a 40 big blind shove. So I actually prefer the call over the shove.
Seat 6
or the
check.
raise. Wow.
Yes, wow is right.
Seat 3
Wow.
check.
Even more of a wow.
Why is Kuhn checked there? Is it just that it was too strong? I mean, you've got Locke in the small blind who's, you know, a bit of a loose cannon.
I'm so confused right now. The fact that
can't overall. You don't need to slow play your hands when Jeff Gross has flatted you and Phil Locke is in the pot, right?
both of their check. I mean, Jason's check surprises me more than JG's check, but
5
they
check.
both still surprise me. I can't believe that this has gone check.
So is Jason Kuhn thinking to himself, I need to just check because Locke is liable to just move all in at any point with nothing? Is that possible?
I guess that's his rationale, but at the same time, he's capable of doing that on any street. How this has gotten to the river without a bet it's scary.
Seat 6 bet 30,000.
Wow.
It's an absolutely sick river card, and Jeff Gross is going to get just so lucky. He's not going to lose a chip right now. He's not going to lose a chip.
It's amazing how all these situations they always work out for Jeff Gross. Like no matter what the situation.
JG, PBF.
He should be broke in this hand. You know,
should be broke in this hand.
And somehow he found a way to get away for just a pre-flop
Seat 3
raise.
raise, 110 total.
I don't even know if Phil Locke's going to call here, and I just wonder if I mean, it's not just because of the hands out there that Jason Kuhn's made a mistake, right? I mean, he's made a mistake here.
I think so. I can never see that Jason is taking this line as a bluff against someone like Phil Locke, who's just proven to be so reckless.
What a strange hand.
It was the perfect river too to create this situation. I mean, only an ace would have made this happen.
It's probably just a chop. They're probably just stealing with the chop.
And that's a very, it's not a terrible assessment.
I feel like if you had an ace, you might have c-bet the flop, ace queen.
I think Jason, that's the other thing. Jason could be raising here. He could be raising here with a weak ace, knowing that Phil does not have a 4 and does not have ace king.
You might just have ace queen. You could have like ace 9. No, maybe. Doubtful. Oh my god, kid.
At this point, I think that Phil is calling for a chop if he's calling.
Sure than nothing.
Yeah.
That's a good bluff.
Kid,
I folded a good hand.
I found a way to lose that hand. I don't know how.
Could be the one. Ace, 9, 3, 2.
And it just goes check. How's that?
What's going on here? Sam checks back aces here.
Oh, he checked it back, huh? Okay.
Yeah, poor bets. Now does Sam raise?
I would be inclined to raise here. I guess Sam's hoping to boat up on the river and...
He's hoping for the 5 of spades. Oh my god.
Oh, there it is.
How have I just said that?
Oh my god.
You
called it.
For the 5 of spades.
He's called it.
The 5 of spades rips off. Well,
5 of spades. That was Sam's plan all along.
This
Honestly,
is a disaster card for Newey.
Who's shuffling these decks? I think he needs to take a little bit longer here.
$16,000 the bet. I can't see full forward in this, especially as he's losing. There's time. What more time it took against Michael when he was crazy Mike? He folds.
Wow.
What a getaway there.
That is quite the fold.
Welcome back to the Irish Poker Masters final table. This €1 million, $1,100 buy-in knockout tournament is down to just the final 7. A couple of hours into the final table, things have been, well, a little slow, perhaps, but they certainly burst into life towards the end of that hour of play, with Zisimo really kicking it into gear as we come back to see Thomas 3-bet rip ace queen into Joel Holmberg, who was the chip leader. Spikes an ace on the flop. Wow, it really is all switching around now. Joel all of a sudden down to just sub 30 bigs, having had 42 million, I think, nearly 2-1. The next biggest stack is now the 2 stacks towards the bottom of the table. Zisimo and Hueber with the commanding lead. Ivan, fresh off his double-double before the break, back in the game, getting back on the horse, going after Zisimo in the big, popping up Queen Deuce 6. Ivan c-betting this board that, well, it's gone half pot, but the big one, I guess, doesn't get to have too much of being so broken, but still has enough of. He has the Deuce 6 advantage, but a second barrel on an ace turn gets the job done. Zisimo going for it. King Jack against Pavlo in the big with Queen 9. 3 spades on the flop gives Pavlo a flush draw. King on the turn. Zisimo just needed to fade a spade in the river. Couldn't manage to do it. Back down to 35 million. He really is up and down. Pavlo stays alive and keeps that 6k bounty alive for the rest as well. They will be quite happy with that. That's one of the larger bounties in play. As you look around the table, Joel, of course, now back kind of in risk with the largest bounty on the table at 7k. Zisimo at it again, popping up from the cutoff this time. And takes off once more. Does Zisimo into those 2 shorter stacks in the blinds. And like I say, Joel with the big bounty on his head. He gets it through. Still a little while at this 3-6 level, only about halfway through it. Want to link up to 350-700 before the 4-8 and then the 501 milli. Zisimo once more. Non-stop aggression. This time from under the gun. Tamás with a 3-bet rip over the undergun open. Gets it through. Very wide undergun opens. All right, guys. Free roll kicking off in 15 minutes over on Party Poker. Of course, it's the Irish Poker Masters KO free of $500 guaranteed, and that pot could have been a bit more feisty. $500 guaranteed. Please do head on over. 17 minutes till it begins. The password is 1 million GTD because that was the guarantee in this, the Irish Poker Masters. Baron Ivan tackling this ace for Ivan with the c-bet. Gets called by Thomas. Jack on the turn. Now Ivan appears to be waving at the flag, but I mean he's open under the gun. That's a very strong range. No surprise to see Thomas check that back. He's going to have a lot of hands. He wants to get to showdown. Is showdown where they're heading? It's taking a long time to check if that's what he's going to do. He does peel the flop pretty wide there with Jack high backdoor diamonds. Quarter Jack and was considering going for a little value. Whoa! Pavlo all in with ace-9 via the ace-5 of Ivan. Flops 9-9-4. Has his man all but dead, but it runs out heart to give Ivan the 5 high flush. That is brutal. Wow. Poor Pavlo. After that flop, would have been high five from the dealer. Instead, departs with just under 11k for his prize money, just under 12k in bounties. That will sting a little while. One thing to get outdrawn, it's another thing to see it come 9-9 and then get outdrawn. Ivan then, wow. What a spin he has had to get back up to here. Joel now resorting to the 3-bet rip from the big against the button open. But Ivan, what an incredible spin back up. In fact, he's at his peak stack. And Henry, well, we may well have lost Pavlo, but we regain Henry Kilbane. I don't know if you saw that one, Henry. I don't know if you
I did.
The end of it. It was yeah. That's going to sting.
I just heard the old James Dempsey cry. Just like, whoa, what's going on? And I caught the 9-9 flop and pretty.
Just you got the ace-9 against ace-5, becomes 9-9-4. You think you're feeling pretty good at life. Yeah. Just runs out heart. He doesn't even decency to have the ace of hearts either, Henry. He just wins it with the 5 of hearts. Like it's the mug off, you know. We got beaten by a 5-5 flush.
That is so true. Getting mugged off. Oh, that's brilliant. Yeah, we're back. We're in rejam territory as well. I like this stage.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of that.
6 left, boys. Yeah, so Thomas doubled whilst I was away as well. Lots of things.
Yes, Thomas won the pot against Joel. He 3-bet ripped ace queen. Joel called with kings. Thomas spiked the ace on the flop, which is why Joel has gone from the 42 million chip leader to the shortest stack. Oh, yeah, he is the shortest stack now.
Yeah, shit. Played a pretty big hand here though. UTG plus. I was it? No, it's hijack versus button.
And it's Zisimo has been opening, relentlessly since his double up to 50 mil.
Run out.
Little hit back, goes half pot here. Yeah, firm runner indeed. Come on, guys, getting this free roll with me. 11 minutes till it kicks off.
Oh, it hasn't even started yet.
9:30 kickoff here in the UK, Henry. Plenty of time.
Oh, what do you do with 2 pair here?
Some of that. I mean, against Zizimo, I'm just pressing call. Oh, hello. Okay. All right. A little less drama. Wow. Familiar hand, the old king, queen versus kings. It's the one that, of course, Ivan made a heroic bluff against Zizimo. Left himself, just 3 million in chips. Now back up to just under 30. I see people asking in the chat, what's the password? It's top of the screen there, guys. Open your eyes and all will become clear. 1 million guaranteed. Or numeral 1 million GTD to avoid any confusion. Then there were 6.
There's no immediate short stack as well. 30-minute levels. Maxim shortest by a hair on 24.
Yeah, it's quite funny actually. Got the 3 sat together, the shorter 3 and the 3 bigger 3 in a row. It's almost switched around. I think I was saying earlier that Ivan kind of had. Ivan had the. Ivan still has the best C actually. I think it was that way around, wasn't it? I think the time Joel was still a bit shorter. I believe that was the case anyway. If you're just joining us, we've lost Glib, Alexis, and Pavlo. Not without significant action in other places, of course.
Yeah, it's been pretty wild.
Yeah. It bizarrely so. I mean, the first hour, maybe not so much, Henry, although we did see a lot of sort of 3-betting and going no further pre-flop, which kind of gave the clue that maybe there was some stuff going on. But we've seen some pretty big hands clash. And obviously, that's just on today that all we see is showdowns. Unfortunately, no hog guards for us today.
I thought I'd timed my sleep to perfection, but pretty tired.
You put yourself in a bit of jet lag, haven't you?
Yeah, 4 a.m.
Yeah, it's a tough gig, the old sleep manipulation, should we say.
Yeah, I'm curious to see when the million schedule is released. I could go further east, technically.
Is that the out? Is it just get further away?
Yeah,
so you get back round to a reasonable spot.
Well, if I go further east, how much further can I go from here? I could go to like Japan. That would make a ton of sense, and it wouldn't be too expensive.
I mean, I was going to think the opposite, but there we go.
I've seen Japan's only like 2 hours ahead of me. So,
and isn't it mightily expensive?
I was talking about flights.
Oh, okay.
Accommodations, all the same, mate. Let's see different time zones.
Ivan with a limp, Henry. Is the first one a trap?
No, not in this situation. First one's never a trap.
I was going to say, this feels really
No.
curious. That's what we've seen so far. I mean,
first one in this spot is never a trap. It's a trap in the small blind.
yeah, but this seems a bizarre. Well, not bizarre, but I'm just quite surprised to see a limp start here when.
Yeah, you could like limp like, I don't know, King 4 suited or something. King 7 suited. Cover
never know.
everyone. The map. So. Yeah, I'd have to go to like Australia.
That is a little bit further east. It's quite far away as well, I'd imagine.
I could just go to Anadyr, if I'm pronouncing that right, Russia. Furthest western point. Go down to New Zealand.
You got me looking at a map of Russia now.
Well, it's like that spot that you used to be able to walk to Alaska from, right?
Oh, right, okay. That far east.
That's how far east it is, yeah. There used to be a time of the year where the walk.
That might be a bit extreme.
Anything for the stream, mate.
Anything for the game. He loves it. Look at that, boys and girls. He's committed.
Could potentially fly back to Europe if it's like 2 weeks worth of streams, but
or just get yourself in a very just settle into a sleep pattern that suits more.
True.
You know,
Could
go to bed
also
in the
do
afternoon.
Just ruin my sleep schedule.
Well, I mean, it's fine as long as you keep it consistent, right? You've got plenty of daylight there, haven't you?
No, not really. Sun goes down at like 6 o'clock, mate.
Yeah. So you go to bed at 6. Go to bed at sunset. Wake up. Do your comms in the morning before it gets dark. Then you got all the sunlight hours to enjoy.
That's
Sounds
true.
dreamy.
Yeah, that's not a bad shout. Commentary starts at like 3 a.m.
Yeah, and the sun goes down. Henry goes down. See, he goes down for his little nap. See, I'm setting you up. This is all perfect. I'll sign me up for for this.
Don't hate it. Definitely don't hate it.
All right, guys. Free roll kicking off. My table just popped up. We've got a few minutes till it starts. Of course, plenty of time to late reg. But why late reg when you can be in there from the off? Maxim. Try to take one from Zisimo. Does just that.
I'd love to see what Georgios' VPIP is.
Yeah. It's been pretty absurd thus far, isn't it?
He's been active. He's definitely been active. Oh, this just what fives do we have? I guess we have like ace five suited, but it feels like a nonsense bet there.
Yeah, there's one of the funny ones where it's like, well, I'm just going to do it. You can try and stop me if you want. I'm the chip leader. I'll make some nonsense bets and let you figure it out for your tournament life if you want to take it on. Here he goes again. Zizimo once more. Thomas opening the button. Thinks this is one, pardon me, opening the cutoff. Very different situation. Let's be pretty careful opening the cutoff, right, Henry? I mean, this should be, as cutoff ranges go, fairly snug, right?
Yeah, especially when Georgios behind.
Yeah, I mean, he's just going half a lever. We know he's going to get half a lever. He's been going half a lever from the start. Even when he got shorter, he was unafraid.
Ivan decided to peel and see a flop here. This is the under the gun open. Let's it go. Yeah, these like 20 big blind close spots all of a sudden just become so much more attractive when Georgios is the one opening. Really great board for Georgios to just continue barreling as well. Dry disconnected. Just has it so easy, just turns the ace of clubs.
Sometimes it is that easy.
Oh, RNG is it's a real thing. It's crazy how many different ways you can actually run well in poker. That's a pretty hefty jam. 25.
It is. Just under 30 points. Wow. It's the old call this.
Curious to see what a small blind jamming range for 25 looks like. Don't really think it's a thing in vanillas. Okay.
Here we go. What's going on here? What is going on here, Henry? Got some action. Zisimo leads the flop, gets raised by Ivan on this Queen Jack 5. Okay, we're going to continue. Ivan with a little over pot behind. Second heart rolls off. And a check rip. And Ivan gives it up, Henry. Wow. He's
And
just...
these boys have just been. I think this is just GG's everyone else now.
He's had his legs chopped out there, isn't he? Ivan, back down to the short stack.
Yeah. Good luck, everyone else.
Yeah, I mean, didn't really need any encouragement to get more out of line, but 64 million of what, the 150 in play? Nearly half the chips. 6 left, and a player that aggressive. Well, it can still go one of a few ways, but yeah, I'll take I'm taking having about a 50% chance of winning the tournament, that's for sure, because the rest are going to play a little bit of run and hide, I fear.
Yeah, especially now that the cage has been the cage door has been opened again for Maxim and Joel.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe not for long.
Yeah, Ivan going to rip it in. For 12 blinds. 6,500 bounty on his head. Joel with the rejam. Wow. Tamás with a chance to knock both out and pick up 13k in bounties, 2 eliminations. Looking very good, heading to the river. Needs to put a 10. Oh, my word. Need to avoid a 10 or a queen to do it, Henry. And a queen on the end. Wow, Tamás, how unlucky can you be there, Henry? I mean, about to have 40 million in chips and pick up, what was it, 13k in bounties right there. Just had to avoid a queen or a 10 on the river.
Yeah, the old 6 outs once. That's pretty grim. Pretty grim.
I mean, that is the
As you say, to be up to 40 million, 2 KOs plus the immediate 13k plus the 2 ladders. Like,
right. Yeah, another ladder as well.
It's just a casual 30k river card.
Ivan out in 6th, 14k plus 12 in bounties. And now look at the value on Joel's bounty after that, Henry. Obviously knocked out yet another player up to 10k. That bounty.
Sorry, I said 30k. It's actually much more than that.
Yeah, I mean...
given chips as
I
well.
mean, yeah, I mean, like, obviously massive favourite now to finish 5th. As opposed to being, what, 2nd in chips with 4 left. And, like, comfortably 2nd would be, wouldn't he? Thomas would be on 27, maximum 12, yeah. That is a huge moment for both Tamás and obviously Joel, the winner of the pot.
You almost felt like after the 4-second tank, you're like, okay, this is a genuine decision because everyone's dialed in at the moment. You know, maybe they have like a couple of tables open on the side, but not too many. It's not like when you're 12 tabling. Sometimes you can take 10-15 seconds before folding by mistake. Everyone here is dialed in. You know, 6 figures up top. Brutal stuff.
Yeah, that is so grim.
Georgios has been so active. And it makes sense. Yeah, it makes sense with Thomas opening. He's one of the stacks that he could really go after post flop.
He's having a lot of fun, isn't he? Zisimo.
Love this.
Hello.
This.
Tamás. I mean, this must be so pretty strong hand. You want to run it. Chance of, well, more than one call, really. Tamás folds. Zisimo calls. Will Joel call as well? Henry for what? 5.5.
What on earth is going on?
Bounties in play. Although it's a smaller bounty, but bounty nonetheless. And does come along 9-3-4. 3-way flop.
I mean, what do you do here with like 8s in Joel's shoes?
Call and pray.
Well, just hope, because like, oh my goodness. This is absolutely ridiculous.
Jack on the turn. Right, we are going to see a check now.
Just have tens.
Tamás, the one at risk here, looking for a triple up, and is gonna do so. Well, there you go. The eights does just call and pray. It was beating Zisimo's, I guess, protection bet with the king 4 compared to 4. But Tamás turned that jack, got the triple up Henry, and well, once again, the whole dynamic shifts.
Joel actually had 8s as well.
Yeah, second. He called and prayed.
Great squeeze spot as well, obviously. Jack overbet on the turn here. Gets through. Tamás from shorty up to third in chips.
She's a little bit calm on this table now, Henry. Just a reset.
Joel has other plans.
Half bet, cool. Wow, set nonetheless. Joel and Thomas, once more. Thomas from the button. Ace 8 tray rainbow.
Thomas hasn't slowed down in his life.
No. Very small bet there.
Sam perhaps saying can't see the hands getting boring real quick. Yeah, I mean, unfortunate, mate. Nothing James or I could do about it, unfortunately.
Yeah. That little leprechaun in the bottom left of the picture, he's to blame. He got in there. Sabotage us. It's payday, alright. Everyone's filling in all of a sudden.
What time is it over there?
It is 9:45. First of all, welcome everyone who has just joined us over the last hour or so. You are watching, of course, the Irish Poker Masters Knockout Online. We are cardless this evening, but that adds a little dynamic to it. Quite know what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, with the amount of 3-betting going on so far today, it's
Yeah. It's not been... So, I mean, our boy Georgios Zisimopoulos there in the bottom seat is providing plenty of entertainment, regardless of his hands.
Yeah, surprisingly, we actually have 5 players left, given the VPIPs of a lot of these guys.
Tamás and Joel once again. Henry.
With Maxim just sitting back and letting these boys get on with it. But Tamás rather unfortunate not to be four-handed with heaps of chips at the moment.
Joel getting the best of it in these endeavours, Henry. A set before against Tamás, this time a flush.
Yeah, also potentially missing out on some value in these spots as well, going for these 10% block spots.
Trying to go for the jugular, perhaps. Trying to induce. Password at the top of your screen there, guys. 1 million GTD is for the Irish Poker Masters free roll taking place right now over on Party Poker. You've got 1 hour, indeed, left to reg for that one. I'm in the mix, albeit maybe not the best start for me.
No?
No, got a little heroic, didn't I? Got a little heroic in a Zizimo way. You know, I went barreling. Must learn in these free rolls. Maybe trying to get the folds is not optimal.
Trying to get people to fold top pair, James.
I don't know what I was trying to get to fold because I got raised. So I think I just went barreling into a really strong hand. But there we go.
Sometimes you just run into it, mate.
Important thing is to give it a go. Show some heart. These two guys are showing a lot of heart.
They have. Yeah, they have.
Joel started the final relatively short on the middle stack, wasn't he? Then got up to the chip here. They went quite short again. But then obviously got very lucky, spiking that queen, spiking the 2 outs on the river to not just survive, but to knock out Ivan. And now over 50 million in chips.
Yeah, a casual 70k river for him.
Yeah. Tamás not been going too great in the last few orbits. Down to 12. Well, down to 12, and they're all in the middle. Oh, hello. Zizimo with the rejam. Instant rejam at that.
Well, imagine Joel just calling it off there.
2 queens against King Queen. All diamond flop reduces Tamás to 2 outs and does not get there. Zisimo with, well, even more chips and another elimination on our final here as Tamás Ádámszki departs in 5th place. 19k plus 7.5 in bounties. And, well, now Zisimo just under half the chips in play. The march continues, Henry.
Yeah, really unfortunate. Really unfortunate run of cards there for him. Instead of being 4-handed second in chips, out in 5th. Yeah, let's see if either Thomas or Maxim can get anything running here for them. Do it, Thomas. Just click it to like 2.6. There we go. You have more 7x.
I just don't see anything but Zisimo winning this. The way he's playing. 0 fear. Okay, that's not true. I do see why he doesn't win, but I am. What am I trying to say here, Henry?
What are you trying to say, Dempsey?
I don't see a way he doesn't win without being on his terms, as it were. Like, I mean, he can still come third in this the way he plays, but the route is through him, isn't it? I mean, there's no way around it. He's going to be involved in the vast majority of the hands. He's going to put these guys under so much pressure continuously, and
yeah.
I think people are going to have to get lucky to beat him. That's what I'm trying to say, I guess.
Yeah, it's been very active. It was down to 10 mil. He had 1 foot out the door at one point. Did have 1 foot out the door. He's managed to turn it around.
Very much so.
So we get the Joel versus Georgios heads up. Give the fans what they want.
Give the fans what they want.
Maxim getting a jam through. Oh, that's a mistake. I didn't get any water.
Well, it's near a break, Henry. Near a break. You'll be all right. You're a warrior. You'll battle on through.
Oh, you got a 3-bet pot going on here.
Of course, we've got a 3-bet pot. Zisimo's been 3-bet. You're always going to see a flop. The man raises to fold. Come on. Show some respect.
Oh, boy. First in chips versus second in chips. What?
And 20 million already in there.
What?
More than Thomas's stack already in this pot. Let me see a check back. Joel with a block. Yet again. And we've seen a lot of blocks from Joel.
And haven't seen any of them get attacked yet.
And this is the man. If you want to see a block get attacked, this is your man.
2x pot jam.
Here we go. Here we go. Have that. How about pot?
Wow, what do you do with like ace 10 here?
Absolutely binned.
Probably have the call, right?
Absolutely torched is our man. Joel, he's gone Well, he's gone block bet twice. We've seen Henry in the last couple of orbits where he was waiting to snap, and now the block bet that he can't call is the one that gets raised.
Yeah,
But-
Georgios in a prime position here.
I mean, there's Joel's still in a great spot here. I mean, double second, way clear of Maxim.
I just don't see Joel's style ever coming out on top of Georgios unless he just kind of, forgets to take his foot off the gas in a couple of spots. Phil still saying, which one of you funny guys is the Joe Stapleton of party poker? None of us, mate. Joe is very much his own talent.
We are our own people.
Joe's sense of humor cannot be mimicked.
Still 1 out of 4. Ready to discuss this deal, Henry. Who is it? Maxim? He just wants to get a little bit more.
It's been ticked since there were 8 left, right?
Yep. Georgios Zisimopoulos at it again. Deuce, tray, 5. Why not c-bet that board? Because he can have all of that, Henry.
Everyone's playing for second at this rate. Even when Joel's like 50 bigs effective. Bounty spot here, potentially a double bounty spot here. Thomas in the tank.
Yes. Yeah, it's scary, right? Wants to call off, but... Oh, I love this. Love this. The 7-3 suit. Let's go. Let's try and get one. Plot some back doors. That's a bad turn. That's a bad river. Maxim with the double up.
Not sure about that.
Yeah, come on, the 7-3 suit. What aren't we liking, Henry?
I think keeping Maxim as short as he is so he can just really bully Joel makes that sense.
He's doing a fine job putting Joel in the bin as it is.
Opening close to range now. Or probably range.
As fast as the cards are dealt, Zizi moves up with a raise. Feels like it's an auto raise, Henry. It's a straddle at this point.
It's a straddle at this point, he says.
Yeah, I'm calling it. Zizimo straddles, no longer raises. $400, $800. Two of them sub 20. Joel on 40. Georgios up to 90. Henry. So we reached the portion of today's programming where he just wins a bunch of small pots, Henry.
All right, that's hand up. I just want to see how many hands he can win in a row. So that's one.
Well, I think it's a few already, isn't it?
It's true. I just don't know how many exactly it's been.
All of them. It's been all of them. 28k currently guaranteed, plus all those glorious bounties. Next page up gets it to 43. Zisimo's taken advantage of that by, well, winning every single pot going. Can he win every pot to the break, Henry?
I don't know if there's going to be a break at this point.
It'll take a long time to win the tournament, winning at 1 point. Ah, there we go. There we go. Maxim says, you know what, son? I know you're only 2. Put that in your eye.
Yeah, when that's the case, when you're in a spot where you're opening a really wide range and your opponent's obviously going to be profiting from jamming wider than they usually would, to make that adjustment.
Yeah, well, he nearly won every hand until the break, Henry, because he lost the last one. But we'll let him off. Give him a pass for the entertainment he's given us. Well, we are on a break, and when we come back, we'll see if Zizimo makes that adjustment that Henry suggests. So guys, don't go far. We're back in 5 minutes. More of this Irish Poker Masters KO Online.
Can he get away? All of you watching at home, ask yourself the question. Could you get away? I don't think I could. We do get a call. We are going to see a river here. 4 outs remain for Vadim L to stay alive in this tournament. He needs a queen and only a queen, or we will see Vadim S double through. Oh my god, it's a queen! Unbelievable. 9% going to the river. Bam. Smashes the queen to stay alive in the tournament. Gonna double up to around 90,000. Can you believe that?
Here we go. Great shape for the double up. Get back to 1.9 million chips. Jack 8-5 by. Well, not hanging around to watch. He is going for a smoke. Well, that's a new one on me. Vahe runs out to the balcony area, I assume for a cigarette. And Vahe gets the double when he's not even in the room. That is a new one. He's up to 1.9 million in chips. It looks like already that was our final hand of the first 2 hours. Interesting. We saw him just out of nowhere. Button with 7-3. Well, is Maxim going to take the bait? That's exactly what's happening. He's laid the trap. Totally snapping, and Maxim needs to find a 4. Well, he will be eliminated here at the WPT Russia. And that's exactly what he's done on the 994 flop. Of course, an ace or queen. Still outs for Anatoly. That's what spiked. Just a 4 again for Maxim will do it. And that's that. Spiked to 4, but it's no good. Maxim hits the rail. Anatoly back to 1.7 million, where he was when we joined this feature table.
Alexander has a flush. The worst possible card for Ilya. Making trip 6s. I don't think he can get a wave here. You make trips on the river. Alexander's going to bet 20k. I can't think of a worse river. Did Ilya just raise? To 43,000. Alexander calls. The flush is good. Ilya going for a very thin raise, and we can see Alexander with the flush. Gonna take down a huge pot there. 115,000 in the middle.
Don't see Matas folding. Made a very weak bet on the river. Having called pre, check call turn. Doesn't really have a whole host of strong hands. I mean, he can have the big hands like a flush, but does he bet 25,000 of them on the river? I'm not so sure. I think if you weak lead the river, you've just got a call here with a hand as strong as a set. You even have perhaps some hands like Queen 10, Queen Jack, maybe go that way. No, okay. Matas does give it up. Nice play, Dimitri. Using that 10, running a big bluff. Welcome back, one and all, to the Irish Poker Masters main event here on Party Poker. And Henry, well, it's Zisimo's show, and not sure if these guys can stop him.
Yeah, I mean, this is really tough to turn around. It's very much in control. It seems to have been that way since we got like 6-handed, and even prior to that. I mean, he obviously dropped down to 10 million at one point, but seems to just be active and involved in pretty much every spot he could be. Not surprised to see him at the top of the counts here.
Yeah, and again in the mix. Joel appears flatting, I guess, on the button against his open, getting involved against the chip leader and checking back thus far.
Maxim and Thomas, sub 20. Gonna need some help. Although 4-handed, I mean, 20 big blinds is still heaps.
Yeah.
Yeah, Thomas needs to find a double within the next couple of orbits. Joel just in the blender from the first street.
Yeah. I guess, yeah, a little bit of a waiting game for him. Like you say, he's kind of forced out of the action somewhat at the moment. Maxim even is kind of, I guess, kind of like a little bit of preservation situation here because covers Thomas at the moment, and Thomas has got 5k bounty, and I guess that makes a slight difference.
Yeah, definitely. It's a significant one.
Oh, well, he's jamming over Zisimo nonetheless.
Yeah, it's definitely significant.
Yeah, I mean, like, if he somehow knocks Thomas out, then happy days. Like these spots here, it just seem like it's such a great situation for him, isn't it? When these two fold to him, he just gets to rip here, covers. Limps. First one's a trap. The Henry Kilbane system. I'm learning, Henry, I'm learning.
First one's a trap, eh?
A wise guy once told me that.
Could find out. Not this time, James.
Not this time. No, they got me on that one.
Maxim still covering. Just the bounce. It's going to be like sevens plus ace jack, right?
Oh, here we go.
Oh,
here
boy.
we go. Thomas making the call. Is covered. Exactly the point we're just making, Henry. Maxim does have a shot at a bounty here, although going to struggle to do it. Especially after the ace 3-4 flop turn a 6. Needs an...
Oh, wow.
Needs an 8 on the river and spikes just that. 2 outs, 1 pull. There she goes. Thomas Hueber desperately unlucky there. 4th for 28,000 plus just under 10 in bounties. There have been some brutal runouts today, Henry.
There really has been. That's yeah, that's a tough pill to swallow, that one. That's for sure.
Well, and the others won't be wild about it. Would have left our man with maximally left with what, just a couple of blinds. Who would have shot at that bounty, but hey, you get some luck in this game, you got to make it work for you. He's done just that there.
Yeah, that's very true.
And well, can he kick on? Now second in chips. I mean, almost does it almost play a little bit into Zisimo's hands now that these two have got the same stack and he can have a bit more fun?
What is he? I mean, it's got 90 of the 150 in play, right?
Yeah.
Boys on 35 apiece. Wow, snap fold. I'm not sure what I'd prefer, like a 4-1 chip lead. Georgios get the KO, or Joel or Maxim to double through each other, and then having a deep heads-up match. Wow, sicko. Okay. I see you. Calling it off Queen High. With a slight separation. Both of them very lucky to be here as well.
Yeah.
I'm sure they're both thrilled. 22k ladder plus the bounties.
Yeah, I'm going to throw it out there. All three of them, down to the last three ever. 994 on a tournament. I'm sure there's been some fortune along the way. But you're quite right, there's been some turmoil on this final table.
Just gets to show down the ace-7, eh? No spade.
Yeah, it's pretty absurd, isn't it? Free roll's not going my way, Henry. But for the rest of you guys, there's 35 minutes left to later edge this bad boy, guys. Please do head on over to party. Password is 1 million guaranteed, as it's written at the top of your screen there, rather than typing out those exact words. I'm down to just 7,500 from the 100k starting stack, so it's not exactly gone to plan. We got it in good though. We got we had the best of it. We can sleep easy. We can sleep easy.
Did you have the best of it though?
I did. This time. It's a rare occurrence, but these guys, they're playing for a little bit more than the $500 in that free roll. First prize here is going to be, well, north of 6 figures with the bounties. Technically, it's 43, then 65, and 65. But there's a lot more to it than that.
Yeah, I'm not sure, man. Don't feel like anyone's been like going after it that much as we got three-handed. Feels like Georgios is, I don't know, taking his foot off the gas a little bit.
Well, I don't think you could put it any harder. There we go. Say that. But yeah. And maybe just the cards not cooperating, perhaps. You know, in that moment, Henry, when you're all in and you flop top pair, and you're actually playing a four-way pot, or they're playing a three-way pot on the side. And there's loads of action, and you know your top pair's never good. That's what I'm currently experiencing. Oh, Zisimo flops a 10. Follow me. That's my table.
See a 10 high flop now.
Yeah, my top pair was.
Top pair was no good.
Yeah, that was a no-go.
I'm curious to know what kind of board, because if you got like top pair on like a queen 7 deuce and they're going at it.
No, it was like king 10 4 and I had king 9 and they were going at it.
Yeah, I guess if they're going at it anyways. But on a queen 7 deuce or king 10 9, it's going to be pretty unlikely. The top pair's good.
Jack Trey. Joel doing the betting for once.
Joel's been sticking around.
Yeah, I mean, like I say, he's obviously had a fortuitous finish, I'm guessing. Or maybe he took a big nosedive late last night to come into the final table with the biggest bounty, but actually not that big a stack. I read into it that he's probably knocked someone out who had a big bounty, but maybe he went south towards the end. Either way, a good start to today, then fell back down, but here we are, three-handed.
Richard said I went down to 20k, now back at 130. GG's.
It's a good spin. All these spots here, I just feel like poor Joel's about to get put through it. And I don't know why. Almost to the point that I think he's just going to check back a lot more. Goes for quarter on this one. All right. Richard goes again up to 250k. Something a little bit better than I am.
Aren't you like out of the tournament?
Yeah. So everyone's doing better than I am. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, pretty much.
Wow, guys, he's getting fiery. He's getting feisty as Mr. Kilbane. 30 minutes left to late reg. I suppose he could fire again. Actually, can I fire again? No, you can usually re-enter these things. I didn't actually pay attention when I busted. You can usually pay your way in. Yeah, maybe I had to do it at the time. Whoops. All right, the two others going at it. Joel popping from the small. Maxim saying run it from the big for what is a pretty big jam. Just under 30. Well, Maxim would love to get a small lead here, wouldn't he, over Joel and have a crack at that 10k bounty.
Yeah, 10k plus the 22k ladder.
Yeah. I mean, obviously you're not giving up hopes of winning, but realistically here, you'd accept taking Joel out and finishing second. I think it'd be a huge jump in prize money on 30k. But to do that, you've got to have more chips.
Joel hasn't minded tangling with Georgios so far today, has he? Hasn't exactly come out on top in many spots either. In these clashes.
Maxim with a limp.
First one's never a trap.
First one's... Well, there's the trap. There's the rip. Ace 8 v A10. Ace 10 even. Maxim flopping a gut shot draw, but bricks out. And Zisimo knocks out another Henry. And just like that, we're heads up. With the man who had the chip lead against the man who doesn't look like relinquishing it.
That's, I don't know, it feels like that pot was much bigger than it needed to be. So it's like limp 3.5x,
Yeah.
jam, cool. Actually, yeah. Yeah,
I
it
mean,
seems fine.
Yeah, with the way Zisimo's playing as well, right? You've got to
Yeah.
kind of roll the
I
dice, as it were, I
apologize.
guess. But hey, Joel, well, he's got himself heads up. He's locked 65k plus bounties. And now playing for this difference in bounties. So this is where we do the wizardry to work out exactly what they're playing for. But
Yo, Chelsea fan 78. Good evening, guys.
Chelsea fan 78. Well, welcome, but not too happy what your team put me through this evening.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I laid some bets that were quite punchy and relied on Chelsea not winning so handsomely. Yeah, thanks for that.
Unlucky, mate. Feels self-inflicted. No.
Yeah, usually it is. Just back from the game with the kids, not too bad. Yeah, it looked like quite a good game. 4-0 in the end, it just looked, wow. Good going. Good side.
Wait, aren't Chelsea like top of the league?
Yeah.
Why are you betting against them then?
It's not so much I'm betting against them, but someone I know is betting with me at bad prices. So, you know, you're getting it in good. What can you do? You know, you gotta... Can't turn down an edge.
How much is your edge in this spot?
Like 10% or something.
Really? Wow, that's a pretty big edge.
Yeah. Can't turn them down. Bookmakers don't tend to be poor. So I figure if I follow them, how bad can it be?
Makes sense. That's a good strategy.
All right, come on. The heads-up's off and running, Henry. Can our man Joel get back in this? What do you reckon?
It's gonna be a tough ask. It's gonna be a very tough ask. Against the man that seems like you can't find the breaks.
Yeah. I mean, this is the same stack. I remember specifically Joel Holmberg started this final with 16, 17 million chips, I think. Henry. It's just still has the same. But arguably the most experienced player on the final, Zisimo, is, well, holding the rest. And looks destined, I'd say, to close this one out with a 8-1 lead. But we've seen stranger things happen before.
Yeah, it'd be quite the comeback.
I'm not ruling it out.
Joel's been loving these blocks.
Yeah. Seen a lot of that. And
oh wow, snap called.
Ooh, wow. I had it and yikes. Joel down to 10 bigs, Henry. The task just got a lot harder. You're 20-1 down in chips. The good thing about winning from 20-1 down is you get the story about how you won from 20-1 down, which is always a nice one.
Yeah, you also get a little 10k bonus as well.
Chelsea asking what the buy-in was. It was 1,100 euros. It's €1 million prize pool. We fell just short of the guarantee, but not enough that anyone's going to lose any sleep over. These guys now have secured 65k and change apiece and are playing for the difference in bounties.
Oh, so maybe it won't be 6 figures.
Hmm. Well, because he's going to get... I don't know. I can never work out exactly how it works. I say never work out. We don't do enough of these, Henry, but I can't. Someone far wiser will break it down.
You'd get 10k. Plus, oh, okay, yeah, maybe it's like 95. I don't know.
You get a lot right. I don't know how, like, if he's holding 10, how much has he already got?
Should be 10.
Alright. No, that doesn't sound... No, has he already got... That means he's already got 20, right? Oh, I don't know. I think he's already got 20. And
Okay.
then you get his own... I don't know.
Give it up.
I could... Aaron's in the chat. He'll figure it out for us.
Go on out and do the math for us, mate. So for him to have 10, yeah, you're right. So for him to have 10.7, that means he's already won 21.5.
Yeah.
And then if he knocks out Joel, he would get that 10k.
Yeah.
So 31.5. So then he
Yeah,
gets
Boris.
to double that, and then he'd double.
Boris
both.
is... Boris has put numbers in here. I'm going to take them for face value. Both take 20k now. So both playing for another 42.
Yeah.
So the loser gets 20 in bounties and the winner gets 62-ish.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said, but Boris said it.
Okay. I don't doubt you, Henry. I don't doubt you. You're blinds up 5-1. Not that it makes too much difference with the stack depths the way they are.
Boris just absolutely crushed it.
Yeah.
Oh, well. I am getting wrecked today, James.
Getting wrecked.
Oh, yes.
Well, Zizimo is probably going to go out for a couple and get wrecked in a different way after this, because it's getting ever nearer to the inevitable 4 million chips, just 4 blinds left for Joel. And here we go. First time of asking Queen 5 in against 10 deuce, but deuce on the flop. And it bricks out Henry. Georgios Zisimopoulos is the champion of the Irish Poker Masters. And I don't think you can get a more fitting performance for a champion, Henry. That wasn't a got the right cards at the right time performance. That was a risks coming 8th or 9th, but went full throttle to win that title.
Yeah, it's absolute annihilation. Once he, dropped down to like 10 mil at one point, but then as soon as he kind of got back up to around 30, 35 million, he just seemed to be the person that was always going to run away with it. Those are the payouts.
Yeah, there you go. Confirmation of the monstrous payout. He gets 129k, we'll call it. Joel, 85, and then I drop it down here. Maxim did very well, and then 52. And then, well, actually, rarely for a bounty, Henry. They're all kind of in prize money order. Sometimes you see. Yeah. Oh no, they're not. There we go. Tamás got slightly less than Ivan. There had to be someone to prove me wrong there. But there we go. It almost looks like a normal tournament, that payout structure.
I mean, I guess, yeah.
Almost.
So
Well,
when are we
guys,
back, James?
Yeah, well, we'll be back in the not too distant future, just next month. Of course, we have the Millions Online. Next month is, well, starting next week, so it won't be too long, guys. Full schedule, not out yet, but keep an eye on the socials, and myself and Henry will be calling, I'm sure, lots of the action through that festival, as we always do. And I know, Henry, you'll be looking forward to that one, especially, like I say, assuming there's 100k again. We'll be really salivating over that one, won't we?
Yeah, for sure. And I'm also looking forward to seeing some of the heroes back in the mix on our screens. So, yeah, looking forward to that for sure.
Yeah, they've been out there enjoying themselves in Vegas, but we'll get them back in here, battling it out on the online felt. All right, guys. Well, thanks very much to everyone for tuning in and bearing with us this evening with no hole cards. I know that's a pretty kind of watch for you guys to tune in and persevere with that, but thank you for doing so. I'm sure by next time we'll be back up and running in the proper fashion. But until then, best of luck, and me and Henry will see you next month. All right, guys. Good night.